And Albuquerque police hope new surveillance photos will help them track down the driver.
Yeah, he ran down 4 people in the wee hours of the morning yesterday, killing one of them. All right, check this out. Police just gave us 3 pictures of this faded black pickup truck seen near 2nd Street in Iron just before 3 yesterday morning. Witnesses say a dark SUV rammed a fence where people were sleeping, and they say it looks like the driver targeted the people who were on the sidewalk.
He came here for people laying down on the curb. For what reason, I don't know. But that's what he came for. He was not drunk and swerved. And no, he was looking for targets on the ground, bodies laying down.
That is horrible. All right, once again, here is the truck, and here is some information on the license plate. It is either GJ or GZ with an unknown 3rd letter, then the numbers 278. The witnesses say 2 men were inside. They say it was a woman who was killed, but police have not confirmed that this morning. They have said the 3 other people who were hurt, though, will recover. Elizabeth?
A week after several protesters were arrested inside City Hall, many were at it again last night. Only this time they had to stay outside across the street. 6 repeat protesters showed up again to protest APD last night. They were joined by others yelling from across the street toward Mayor Berry's office, hoping he would hear their message.
The mayor has consistently refused to meet with grassroots organizations contrary to his office's propaganda.
Inside, the council meeting went on without major interruptions. Security guards were there. Cops were also inside the chambers. One man was escorted out when he would not put down a flag, which violates new rules of no signs or props. Now, permanent rules were set last night to avoid what happened at last month's council meeting when protesters commandeered the meeting.
I think that in every situation, everybody was respectful. Someone was removed, but I think that sort of thing happens in any situation where there's heightened concern.
The council deferred action on a proposal regarding a new police oversight commission and also on a vote for a possible new tax for mental health services.
We now have cell phone video of a UNM professor getting arrested last Monday during a protest and sit-in that forced the city council meeting to be rescheduled. Take a look at this.
They can't afford you to do this. This is a public meeting. This is a public building. In a public building. In a public meeting. In a public office.
The video shows David Correa struggling with an officer who is escorting him out of the building. That's right there. Correa is charged with suspicion of battery on a police officer as he is accused of shoving that officer in the chest.
I didn't see any battery on an officer. I didn't see the officer identifying himself. I didn't see the officer falling backwards. Whoever wants to look at the video can look at it and reach their own conclusions.
Well, a judge ended up banning Correa from City Hall because of the arrest. He has pled not guilty and is free on bond this morning. APD did not want to comment on the cell phone video, but sent us an email saying Mr. Correa's case is now at the district attorney's office. Local religious leaders are holding a prayer and meditation service tonight, hoping to help the community heal and push for reform in the city.
Really concerned about those officers and their safety, and we of course have lots of clergy whose congregations are really upset and worried as non-uniformed people in Albuquerque.
Reverend Angela Herrera there and the congregation Albert Rabbi Harry Rosenfeld are among as many as 50 interfaith leaders who are pushing for reform within APD and healing in the community. So they're having a prayer and meditation service tonight at the First Unitarian Church at Carlisle and Comanche. It starts at 6:30.
Questions are emerging about exactly what a 16-year-old was holding when Espanola police shot and killed him. It happened just before 1 a.m. Sunday. Officers were responding to a call about a suspicious person. State police is now investigating the shooting death of Victor Villalpando. They say the boy pointed a weapon at Espanola police and an officer opened fire, killing him. State police officials are not saying what kind of weapon Villalpando was holding. There have been reports it was a gun, but the people who knew Villalpando don't believe it. They think that the team was carrying a stick used for karate. They also tell us that Villalpando was a gymnast, dancer, and teacher at the Moving Arts Espanola.
The last 2 years, classical ballet which led him to a successful audition for the New Mexico School of the Arts, where he was headed this September.
A memorial has been set up near the site where Villalpando was shot. And another deadly police shooting in New Mexico. This one involves an escaped inmate in Carlsbad. 24-year-old Troy Kirkpatrick was in custody at the Eddy County Detention Center. He had a scheduled doctor's appointment yesterday. Police say that is when Kirkpatrick assaulted a detention officer and escaped from the doctor's office. They say he then stole a car. When Carlsbad police caught up with him, they gave chase until he crashed into a fence. That is when cops shot and killed him. It's unclear how many officers fired and how many times Kirkpatrick was shot.
5:06 now. Taos police are investigating what looks like a case of arson. Happened outside of Stray Hearts Animal Shelter back on May 31st. A gold Subaru station wagon parked near the shelter was set on fire early that morning. This is what was left of it. Police say someone threw a rock at the car's back window and stole its Alaska license plates. If you have any information on this case, please call police. Well, high fire danger means no fireworks this year in Sandoval County. The county's commissioners are banning them in all unincorporated parts of the county. This includes missile-type rockets, helicopters, aerial spinners, sparklers, and smoking fireworks, whether they burn on the ground or are held in your hand. This ban goes through July 9th. If you are caught breaking the rules, you could go to jail and have to pay up to $300 in a fine.
Cleanup is underway after a total of 14 tornadoes hit New Mexico over the weekend. One of the hardest hit areas was here, the small village of Encinoso, which is 10 miles north of Capitan. You can see all the damage. 2 homes were destroyed, 5 were damaged. Trees were uprooted and power lines knocked down. Homeowners are still trying to salvage anything they can.
I have a knot in my stomach and it hasn't gone away. When I was a little girl, there were tornadoes that came around, but they never touched, you know. They'd maybe knock a tree down or so, but they would always just go on, and this one didn't.
Emergency crews are also lending a helping hand to homeowners who are in the cleanup process.